gonna segue into it to let you get set up. I am excited that I have not seen Justice League, so that the only version I will ever watch is the Snyder Cut.
I mean, I don't think either version is gonna be good. But, like, I think you will probably end up watching the right one, because...
How can a bad 3-hour movie be a better 4-hour TV show?
I mean, it's
They're
not
making
gonna...
it a 4-hour TV show?
The Snyder Cut is a 4-hour, 4-episode show. It's not a movie.
Basically,
Wait,
yeah.
I thought that they canned it because like of a family issue, not because.
Oh, okay. So here's
It's-
what's up.
it's
So
both
Snyder was
things,
directing
yeah.
it,
Yeah.
and his daughter committed suicide, so he stepped
Right.
away.
Yes,
And then
that I
Joss
knew,
Whedon took over and reshot a fuck ton of stuff.
which is surprising because
He-
he's usually okay at making things.
He
Usually,
rewrote
sometimes
and
pretty-
reshot enough of it to qualify for co-writing and co-directing credit with the guilds,
Right.
Oh,
which
so was
requires
it-
that you do a certain percentage of it.
Yeah.
So it was purely for the title. It wasn't even that like he felt it needed it. He just did it so
I
he
mean,
could put his.
don't get me wrong, it also needed it. But the problem is, then you suddenly have two...
A serious movie by a serious director who's not funny.
Yeah,
And
two
then a funny director.
completely different movies
Mm.
that are just mismatched, and any given scene is from one of those movies.
Right.
And
They
it
both
does not
seriously
work, and
at odds
they've
with
like,
each other.
you
Yeah.
know,
But
Snyder...
how is it going to be 4 hours though?
Because
the
that's how
part I
much
missed.
movie he
there's
made.
a lot of, there's a lot of footage that Snyder shot that didn't get used, and they spent like $40 million reshooting shit.
Right. Everyone thought it was like
Because
done
Zack Snyder-
and
because-
finished, a Snyder cut, if you will, but there was no finished cut. It wasn't edited. The effects weren't started.
Oh,
like
so
there-
they were done with production essentially. They weren't in. They were in
for
post
the
production
most
and
part,
they were like, we need
but
to-
the production on that movie is also weird because they're in the middle of shooting it when Beavis comes out, when Batman, Vooperman, Superman comes out into theaters and becomes one of the most reviled modern blockbusters. One of and they like Justice League was supposed to be 2 movies. And they're in the middle of making these movies, and then the
that it was gonna
reports
be 2
come
movies.
back for Beavis, and they have enough time to pivot off of how bad the Beavis reception is, but they don't have enough time to factor in the fact that people really like Wonder Woman. So if you watch Justice League, you're like, boy, they didn't give Wonder Woman fucking anything to do in this whole movie. It's like how Infinity War was obviously made before Black Panther came out, because otherwise Black Panther would have been like a main character in Infinity War, as opposed to one line and then he disappears.
And Endgame obviously made before Captain Marvel was made, because Captain Marvel was like one of the most powerful people in the universe. And
it doesn't make sense. I mean, like, that sequence of... I know they shot, like, Infinity War and Endgame, like, basically back-to-back, but, like, they very pointedly went like, okay, the Black Panther characters have to be the first people out of these portals. Like, they have to be the first ones out of here.
Yeah,
because people love these characters. The
also,
hardest...
so you were,
no, go ahead.
I have to go back to this. You were talking about private, a what?
Oasis?
What's going on?
Okay, so Jared Leto...
I need receipts.
So Jared Leto, indisputably one of the worst human beings in the film industry. Just a terrible, wretched man who is...
Wait, really? Other than Joker, he's like...
Okay, do you need to know anything more about a man than the fact that he mailed used condoms to... Do you need to know anything more than the fact that he mailed, like, a pig carcass to his castmates? Do you need to know a second fact about this man to know he's garbage?
I mean, like, also...
Joker does things to people.
Okay.
That was me trying. Hang on. That was me trying. But that's not...
Yeah,
that's not
thank
it.
you. Please, I appreciate you not even committing to that.
Method is just
bit.
an excuse for wealthy white men to be assholes to the rest of their cast and get away with it. And I don't
100%.
buy that. It makes your performance better.
You are playing a silly clown. There is nothing about playing that character that will affect your own personal mental state. It's felonious. It's just an excuse for people to be assholes.
It's like, oh, I want to make the dynamic between us actors like more tense. It's like, they're good. First of all, that relies on you believing that the other actors can't do their fucking job. Like, screw 100%. You, dude. Yeah. Arrogance to be like, I need them to be uncomfortable around me, so I'm going to make them actually uncomfortable instead of relying on, I don't know, these incredible actors being incredible actors.
To quote, I think Laurence Olivier, why don't you try acting, darling? Or no, I'm sorry, it was Peter O'Toole. It was Peter O'Toole, and he said that to Dustin Hoffman.
Oh my God.
But anyway, so
what a dick move.
Yeah, well, okay, but that, anyway. Okay, quick. That was during the movie Marathon Man, where Dustin Hoffman's character had been up for like 36 hours, so Dustin Hoffman stayed up for 36 hours, and he comes to set and he's like delirious, and Peter O'Toole's like, what the fuck is wrong with you? And he's like, well, I'm trying to be in character, I've been up for 36 hours. And he's like, why don't you try acting? Like, why don't you? Which is one of the best burns in the history of the industry.
Rather than overdoing something, why don't we just act like you're a professional?
Why don't you do your job, Dustin?
Yeah.
It's very funny to call him Dustin. But anyway, so Jared Leto found out about the coronavirus like a month ago.
I don't understand.
Because he and the Jared
entirety
Leto
of 30 Seconds to Mars.
The Jared Leto Sunshine Togetherhood were out on, some like, we are experiencing nature and doing drugs in nature for like months and months at a time. And if you look at pictures of Jared Leto's little get-together, he looks exactly like someone looks before they ask a group of people to kill themselves. And so
dragged.
Old 30 Seconds to Jonestown himself comes out and is like, I only just learned about coronavirus because I was leading a cult in the desert. I
think his new band name should be 30 Seconds to SARS.
Ooh, wow. Yo, Caleb, as far as the dad jokes go, that one is like in its own category. I don't even, like, it was so good that
I'm a little offended that you feel like you need to compliment me when I make a good joke this much, but also I get it.
Well, it's not that I need to compliment you. It's like this one hit different, and I need to somehow. Oof! It's like
This one got me. Yeah. 30 Seconds to SARS. I'm proud of it. So.
As well you should be. You can walk home on that one if you want to stop the recording now. Like, I understand. I get it if you want to. If you want to take an early one. But yeah, so that is Jared Leto's little cult, and we are. There's just no way this ends well. Like, there's not a universe where you follow the Joker into the desert and you come out of that whistling Dixie. Like, there's just no way that's gonna happen. You follow the weird dude from fucking Blade Runner 2049. You follow a Fight Club cast member into the desert. Nothing good is going to happen.
He wanted to destroy something beautiful.
Very good. Here, a follow-up question before we get into the main thrust of the episode. Has Jared Leto ever been good in a movie? Because I think no.
That's a complicated question.
I liked him in Blade Runner 2049, but his character had like 30 seconds of screen time.
Yeah, 30 seconds of screen time. But okay, but also
unintentional that time, but still good.
Let me posit. It's something I also apply to James Corden, right? Sure, he was fine in this role, but can you not think of 8 other people off the top of your head who would have done that role better?
I mean,
any Leto part, especially the one where he plays like a trans woman.
Dallas Buyers Club.
Yeah, Dallas Buyers Club, where he decided just that was decidedly violent. Like when he went up and accepted an award for it with a full beard, being like, "I'm actually a man." It's just like, dude,
remember,
you're literally inciting violence. You might not realize it, but that is dangerous, that behavior.
Yeah, it was like the 2006 Oscars after Brokeback when Heath and Jake got on stage and were like, we made a gay cowboy movie, but we're a very straight man. And it was just like fucking embarrassing. I get that it was like 2006, like, but also it was fucking 2006
comedies.
When they used the R word, when like you could open up any Marvel or DC comic book and see the R word or the F slur.
Oh yeah.
It was a rough time. It was a rough go.
I started Dodgeball today.
A true underdog story.
Whoa. Yes, that one.
With Benetton Stiller.
The only other movie
Vince
named
Vaughn.
Dodgeball, right?
I didn't know if you just like took up a dodgeball class. Seems like a weird time to do it during a pandemic, but I don't know.
Yes, I watched Colloquial Dodgeball today. No, I started Dodgeball, a true underdog story today, and like within minutes was like, oh, this is full of fat shaming, just fucking full of it.
Ruh-roh. Yeah. It's rubber-raggy. Right, that's rat-raping. Riss Romney is not raised well.
The I ever want to hear in a movie is Scooby-Doo saying everything.
Raggy.
Yeah, I started that movie and was like, oh, I get it. It's because Ben Stiller's character's an asshole and runs a shitty gym, and shitty gyms do this. Okay. And then it was like,
we get it.
Justin Long's character sharing his cheerleading experience, and I was like, are they just going to keep doing this?
Yeah, because you can kind of walk that line where, like, okay, the bad guy is a horrible fat shaming, you're making a commentary on gym culture, but then the movie also makes a bunch of fat jokes. And it's like, no, movie, you cannot have both ways. You cannot do this movie.
I honestly, quite frankly, don't want it either way. I
still want to see it. Yeah.
I've seen that movie more than once in my days, and I honestly could not tell you anything that happens of value in that. Like, I don't remember anything except for dodge, duck, dip, dive, dodge. That's the only thing I remember.
Immortal. That's a fucking blessing. Corn is an amazing man. But
necessary. Is it necessary
for me to drink my own urine? No, but I do it anyway because it's sterile and I like the taste.
Oh, I've seen that movie 4,000 times. In high school, many Kevin loved Dodgeball, a true underdog story. And I have been afraid for a long time to revisit it because I was worried it was going to age into fucking dinosaur bones, and I'm glad you've confirmed that for me.
Oh.
I only got through the first 20 minutes, so I don't know. I don't remember if the rest of the movie does. I will update you all next week when we come back and do this again. But
when you finished your marathon screening of Dodgeball, a true underdog.
Your marathon. Actually, it's not a marathon screening. It's just been divided into several different sections for easier consumption.
That is how I watch a lot of movies, though.
Really?
Because of just time. If it's not something that the girlfriend and I are specifically sitting down to watch, I'm like, okay, this is going to be broken up, and I don't even have a kid. And so I'm like, okay, this movie is actually 5 30-minute shorts that I am revisiting over a period of days. Is how some movies.
So you're ready for the Snyder Cut, is what you're saying, because that's the only way you can watch Justice League movies.
I mean, I am going to fucking watch it. I am at this point. Yeah, I do have to see
because it. You know why I'm going to watch it? Because there's a part of me.
It.
Yeah, you know why I'm going to watch it? Because there's a part of me that's but what if it's fucking good? And I know the reality of that sentiment coming true anyway.
It would be Zack Snyder's second good movie. So, I guess he's overdue, but man.
Wait, what's his first one?
Dawn of the Dead.
Oh, okay.
With the exception of some 2004 shit that hasn't aged well, speaking of exactly that topic from exactly that year, there is a lot about that movie that I think is quite good. But also some bits that have fucking zombie bones, if I need to, vary up my metaphors.
I love it. Anyway. Yeah, I mean, Zack Snyder makes things for a very specific group of people, I think.
And I am not no longer amongst them. Because it was 2006. I was 14. I lived in a small town, so 300 was the greatest movie I had ever seen in my entire life. And now that I am a grown-ass bisexual, that's one of the worst, most offensive movies I've ever seen.
It is. Yeah. But, there's so many things from the comic that it does frame for frame, and it's yeah, sure.
Cool, including the, horrible bigotry to every single group of people it is possible to be bigoted against.
Yeah.
It's it hits every base. I've never seen a movie hit all of them.
I can't.
I'm sorry, Jace. This is Advanced Community Studies, the podcast where we talk about the American television comedy community, which has its own issues, but I shall say less so than the filmography of Zack Snyder. I am one of your hosts, TV's Kevin Lanigan, and what do I know? I'm just Jeff Winger's dumb gay dad.
Oh, shit. I had a good one and I forgot it. I'm Jace. Hello. Hi. I use they, them pronouns. And I forgot. I literally had 3 and they're all gone. My roommate made fresh homemade pasta and that has completely overtaken my brain.
You know what? Good for you.
What's a worthy reason to have your brain taken over?
You just got carbs living up there now.
I mean, come on, you can't beat that. I'm tempted. I feel you. Caleb, say yours before I say anything.
Daddy hose.
Woof.
The one who comes to the rescue and the others can't come up with their names. And I am
Daddy.
Nicholas Nickleby. You can call me Nicholas Nickleby this episode.
She won't shut up about him. Who is
Who the hell
Nicholas
is Nicholas Nickleby?
You love to see it, folks. I don't have any bits of business. Shall we just dive directly into... Oh, okay, hold on. One actual bit of business. And I don't want it to take up too much of the episode. And Jace, you can deny me if you don't want to be put on the spot. But you did message Caleb and myself that you were once again trying the Witcher television show.
Yes!
And I am curious how this journey is developing.
How can one not be curious?
That's so funny. I forgot that this was like an on-air conversation we had the first time.
You were blasphemous the first time, and we were like, "It's bad." And we were like, "How far did you get?" And you were like, "I watched the first episode." And we were
no. I go back. I didn't even finish the first episode. I just couldn't.
Oh, crime and
do it.
I think the finale really makes the first episode like excellent, but the first time you're watching the pilot, you're like, I don't know.
The most intriguing statement you could have possibly made about the show.
Like, I didn't think, because I also watched that pilot, and I'm like, this is interesting. I don't know what any of this is or what is happening.
Yeah, and then episode 2 happens, and you're like, oh, this is what the show's about.
Yeah, like, episode 1 is real dialogue heavy. It's really reliant on you being, like, real focused, and, like, there's politics, and there's dynamics.
There's
and
a lot of names.
Also,
what are all these names?
And I'm like, I don't know any of this culture. I've never played any of the games. I've never read any of the books. I just am not familiar with this. But episode 2 comes along, and you're introduced to my favorite character so far, Yennefer.
Yennefer's the best.
I was like, I literally watched it and I was like, this is the show I want to watch. Can we watch the Yennefer show? Like, when is Yennefer gonna integrate with like? That's what I want to see. Yennefer.
Fun fact: Witcher is mostly about Yennefer, and also Geralt shows up sometimes.
Right, like she is the co-lead of the show, basically.
I just don't understand why they didn't. I guess they couldn't. I think she needed her own pilot episode, essentially. I don't know how else to say that, but like...
No, I agree.
You couldn't... I kind of wish they had started with her. For me, like, a pilot episode is an integral part of how a show is received, especially in the age of binge watching. It's like, if they can't hook you right out the gate, it's tricky. And for me, I'm watching this show... I love high fantasy as much as the next nerd, but like, damn, it just took me too long.
Yeah, see, I think the biggest disconnect. I think the biggest disconnect for you, and I'm obviously speaking for you, but I think the biggest disconnect for you in this instance, perhaps, is that like, I think for 90% of the population going into the Witcher show, initially, right, the people that were excited by the announcement and trailer. And were there on day 1, minute 1 when it was
there were two kinds of people.
For Geralt. Yeah, there were people that were there for Geralt, and then there were people that had read all the books.
There were two kinds of people who were interested in this show when it was announced and debuted on the same day as Cats. The first group of people were people that had played the games, I think, largely in North America, and to a lesser extent read the books. But secondly, leading up to this show, the thirst for Cavill was fucking cooking. We were boiling that pot. They were like publishing stories about how his muscles could not be contained by his costumes, and they like kept bursting out in the middle of like scenes in between takes.
It's wild because you two were the ones that introduced me to this like Henry Cavill fanboy selection. Like,
we're the biggest. We're the two.
I mean, clearly, like it was just. But yeah, I remember watching it and I was like, I know this is like the pride and joy of where
Poland.
Poland. Thank you. I couldn't.
It's Poland's
no,
like great
Poland.
literary work, essentially.
It's
like
Poland's Lord of the Rings.
Like Poland loves that. They're so proud of the Witcher series. When Obama visited Poland, they gave him a copy of The Witcher 2 for
you
PC.
Said that. Yeah.
This is like their huge pop cultural moment that they all rallied around, and it is like extremely Polish, like the entire
I wanted to be integrated into the world immediately. When it comes to high fantasy, I'm like, show me the world. And it was a small town, and then there was a seemingly unrelated, I can't remember if it was episode 1 or episode 2, where there's like that war that starts to happen.
That's the first one. That's the pilot.
And I remember being like, so they dropped the only elements they've given us of this world are one character, in an area that we don't actually know too much about him, in a kind of confusing plot line with two characters that just kind of disappear after the first episode, and then I'm assuming come back at some point, but still, and then a very specific.
How far into the show are you? Before
I've only seen the first 2 episodes, so I actually don't know.
Okay.
I know that one of the guys, the lesser two evils plot line from the first episode, that guy makes like a small appearance in episode 2, I think, like towards the end or something. But like, I just remember it was this guy with a lot of shrouded, like it wasn't very clear on it, and then it was a very specific perspective on the politics of one kingdom in the world. And I was like, this is not how you catch my attention for a world building exercise. Yeah. You don't start here. So I was just like, what? But then getting into the second one, I was like, oh, I feel like I'm on a quest now. Like, I feel like I'm on an adventure. I feel like I've got a sense of the world. I understand a dynamic between the elves. Like, there's an integration of magic that, like, wasn't... Because in the first episode, magic is just very, like, kind of vaguely there. And I'm just like, I don't understand what's happening.
Kev, is it too soon in the show to talk about what time means to this show?
Yeah, way
too soon. To talk about it to Jace right now?
Yeah, way too soon.
Okay. I have homework to do because clearly there's something that has to do with time, and I love playing with time as an artist. Like in a theater creator, time is one of my favorite things to play with.
Oh, then you'll like this, homie.
But then also, I completely forgot what I was saying because there's pasta in front of me.
Carbs in the brain, and I don't want to like talk too much about it because we're still on this journey. We'll do Jace Witcher updates as the episodes go.
Oh yes,
that's a great accountability tool because otherwise
we should have like a secondary podcast that is us rewatching season 1 of The Witcher while finishing up season 2 of Community, have like.
Oh my god. It's very good, and I think before we segue into the show we're actually here to talk about, this is the first fantasy thing to pick up in the wake of Game of Thrones, right? Because Game of Thrones comes out, it's huge, there are a lot of pretenders to that throne,
which I've also never seen,
and none of those shows ever really picked up anywhere near the same amount of steam as Game of Thrones. I think part of why The Witcher has been so successful is that it's still fantasy, but it's very different. It's not trying to do exactly the same thing as Game of Thrones. And also, The Witcher has a female showrunner, and half the episodes are written and or directed by women. And Game of Thrones is so male, and the people running that show have literally said, like, themes are for 6th grade book reports. Like, we don't believe in the concept of themes in our work, which is all I ever need to know about.
I love that show ended. I love that show ended, and then D.B. Weiss and David Benioff held a panel where they basically outed themselves as having used Game of Thrones as like a multi-$100 million fucking workshop, and immediately Disney was like, y'all not making a Star Wars anymore.
Yeah, you're out. So and their show about like what if the Confederacy had won the Civil War, that was canceled.
They were gonna do that too,
and they just got announced today that they're adapting like 3 extraordinarily important works of Chinese fantasy, and I'm like, I can't wait for that to get canceled. Like, it's just
how many non-Chinese people they're gonna cast in that.
Yeah, exactly. And so like the Witcher not only has like the female eye on Geralt at all times, like while he works very well as like a straight male fantasy, but he definitely also works as a
straight
piece
male
of
fantasy?
As a fantasy for straight males to imprint themselves onto. But he also, that lens never forgets.
He breaches in a certain. I know what you. I think I know what you're talking about. Like when you talk about like in comic books, because let's just face it, we're talking about
like comic books, it's fine.
In comic books, the art, you can decidedly see the way that men are portrayed and women are portrayed as decidedly within the male gaze, right? You look at the women as objects of desire, and you look at the men as objects of desire. Like I just said the same thing.
The framing, it's all. I mean, like all you ever need to know is like think of how many times you've seen a shot of Captain America's butt versus how many times Black Widow is turned around and facing you over her shoulder so you can see both boobies and butt.
Right, and it's like you look at the way that like I mean the number of like comic book nerds that are like, I want to be Wolverine. I'm like, fucking what? Like I mean, also I'm not a man, so I wouldn't possibly understand. But like
Wolverine's also the frumpiest of the superheroes.
Yeah, but
he feels the most realistically attainable for a lot of like comic book fans of being like the coolest,
Wolverine
but he's short, he's hairy.
But there's very decidedly the gaze in comic books, vast majority of the time, at least prior to now, where things are starting to kind of switch up a tiny bit, tiny bit, is that
as women start to work on
men were
comic
represented
books.
as something that they would desire to achieve, to become, right? It wasn't something like
100%.
that. And then in The Witcher, I mean, first of all, Henry Cavill exists in that world by himself. You don't need to lean into it, right? He is a dashing man, like just the jaw, the muscles. He's got it.
It's all there. It's all there.
He's there, right?
Even his silly voice on the show that I love.
But it's also
his very video game voice.
Presented as this very strong character, but there's something soft about the gaze on him. And it's when you said that there was like female showrunners and writers, I was like, oh, that checks out. Because like
because he's not just like, ooh, he's strong and fuck stuff up. He's also very sensual. Like he's
a soft boy.
There's moments you'll see later where like he's in a room full of people being very sexy and he's being very sexy, and like it's not a dude who's like, I could conquer this room. It's a dude that's like, I wish I could just take my clothes off and be conquered in this room.
Right.
I think conquer is the operative word, because conquer is one of those things. It's like fantasized in masculine spaces is to conquer. It's this colonial. It's this fascist. I hate it. Anyway, but like because it has to do with like treating the thing that you conquer as an object. It's this toxic masculinity thing. I could literally write an essay about it. But when it comes to like, I can. There's two things that come to mind. It's the scene where we see Witcher kiss. I don't remember her name in the first episode.
I know who you're talking about. Yeah.
And there's this maybe
something like that. It's close to that. I don't know.
But it's an elongated kiss. It's this moment that's very like tender, and it's very clearly not him conquering
that's him giving in
an object of desire. That's him giving in, right? The power dynamic is completely flipped, and then and then we find out that she's not actually the main female protagonist, because spoiler, she does.
She doesn't make it out of that epi. Don't worry, that's what Yennefer is there for.
But then that's the other thing. You get into Yennefer, and she's so clearly just a really brilliant and beautiful betrayal of the trope of the female lead. She takes this, like, they take the idea of the witch and they crank it up, and it's beautiful. Like, the witch as a metaphor for, I can't even, like, I'm literally getting flustered because there's so much in what being a witch means within, like, feminine portrayals and, like,
The Witcher has a foundationally fascinating approach to sorceresses and the female use of magic. It's truly like fascinating. Yennefer is an exceptional character, exceptionally played. It's just there's this, and don't get me wrong, like, there's plenty of boobies on this show. Like there's there's lots of boobies, but the power is distinctly in a different corner than it was on a show like Game of Thrones or any number of other properties we could seek to, but it's just recent and it's also huge. And
there are two scenes like side by side from Game of Thrones because I've only seen like the first episode of Game of Thrones. And then I'm putting them side by side in my head. I know it's blasphemous, but there's
oh, I'm not scoffing at that. I'm scoffing at the
like,
first episode, which is it sucks.
Right.
It's bad first episode.
It's bizarre. But there's like what's her name? I think she's the really powerful one with the braids, blonde something.
Daenerys.
Where she's being prepared to be married off or something.
Oh,
right?
that's Daenerys. Yeah, that's Daenerys.
Right. And it's very, very clearly, this is supposed, that moment is like the women of the castle preparing her for like a womanly tradition, if you will. And it's very clearly a male gaze. And then I'm thinking of Yennefer crying and you see literal snot come out of her nose.
Yes.
And her pull it back in. And I saw that and I was like, holy shit. Like, I don't know. It was
this is how people are.
Oh my God. What?
Yeah, there's a moment, and like without getting into digressions, I could talk about specifically this kind of thing forever. There's a moment near the end of a Cormac McCarthy book turned movie called The Counselor, which is a dark and really hard to watch movie. Not in that like it's gratuitously violent. It's just Cormac McCarthy didn't write books where good guys won. He didn't. He just wrote books about shit being shit and like the shit people dealing with it. There's a moment at the end of that movie where Michael Fassbender breaks into like what are very clearly very well acted, uncontrollable, messy, disgusting sobs. And like snot's like shooting from his nose and he's like shaking. And I was like, that dude knows how to summon emotion. Right. And like Yennefer does that shit in episode 2 immediately. And that's when I was like, yeah, this show's gonna fucking slap.
Yeah.
Because she's great and Geralt isn't the typical male fantasy trope of I am going to dominate this. He's the Geralt from the books that was frequently like, I'm gonna go to a place not to fuck, but to get fucked.
Yeah.
Because that's Geralt. He's that guy.
For sure. He's that guy. Geralt's the ultimate himbo, and we must respect him.
Yes. But you know who's not the ultimate himbo? Jeff Winger.
Jeff wishes he was a himbo. Jeff aspires to himboism, but he just can't let himself be free enough.
Himbosity?
Yeah. The himbosity of Jeff Winger is particularly
like
well utilized.
Yeah.
Jeff Winger took the Himbocratic oath at age.
Himbocratic oath.
I am shook.
That's the best laugh I've gotten out of Kevin. Every once in a while I get like a really good laugh out of you two, and I just feel so accomplished.
Yeah, I mean, the best. I don't know. The best is when you know what that looks like in somebody. Somebody who never laughed, like long laughs, but if he loud proclaimed chuckle, like it was like, "Yo, I got him to laugh."
Yeah,
so like,
yeah. Got him.
I fucking got that. I got him this time.
Got him.
Got him.
Let's segue into.
How are we gonna even get into these insanely good episodes?
Insanely good episodes that work exquisitely well as a pair, because not only because they take place like one night into the next day, but they also like. A lot of the characters are dealing with the same problems that they were dealing with in the previous episode. Oh, we'll get into it. First episode. Season 2, episode 15, early 21st century Romanticism, directed by Steven Sprung. Once again, Jeff, Duncan, and Chang throw a party instead of watching a football game. Troy and Abed, quote-unquote, compete over the same woman, and Britta attempts to prove how cool she is by showing up to a dance with a lesbian, and in Britta fashion, it completely explodes right in her face.
A lesbian?
Yeah, also in quotes, lesbian. I really like this episode. It's a very charming, funny episode. My issue with it is that the two like runners, because they're barely even like B plots, they're just like a few scenes each of Britta and then the Troy and Abed thing, are way more interesting than the A story where they're throwing a party at Jeff's apartment. I don't know if that sentiment is shared amongst the group, but the Troy and Abed stories and the Britta story I could talk about for hours. And the Jeff story, I was like, oh, that's funny. John Oliver's funny.
I guess
Jeff's story is the epitome of Jeff thinking he's super important and going to be bugged by his friends, and the show making it clear that his friends can have good stories without him.
They can exist without him, as remedial chaos theory will go on to prove. But, like, he's not as integral to all this as he wishes he was.
There's a lot of good setup in his plot line. I actually wouldn't even... Wow, yeah, is it? I guess that is technically the A plot? This feels distinctly like they're not even A, B, and C plots. It feels like they just went with, like, 3 plots. Like, they were just like, let's kind of...
100% possible.
First of all, shouts out to the introduction of Magnitude for the first time. Like,
who also does the pop first thing. He says,
I know, he says, like, what's up, guys? Yeah, exactly. Like, I'm like, oh my, what?
He doesn't and it's pop right away.
2 episodes from now, he's a full cartoon character that just says pop.
Yep.
But right now, while they're still, like, formulating who this guy is gonna be, he just says pop.
Pop.
There are some really golden gems in the Winger plot line, but none of them come from Jeff. They all come from Chang and Duncan. Yeah, like literally. There's a few moments that stick out to me.
It's Britain. Everything means vagina.
There's that. There's also, I'm thinking, the one Chang gets kicked out and then is handed their bag of hermit crabs and he goes, "Thanks a lot, idiot." Good job, idiots. Good job.
I think this.
Oh my god!
I think this goes to prove that, like, even a weaker plotline, if you have John Oliver and Ken Jeong there, like, how bad could it possibly ever get? How bad could it be?
Another standout moment for me, not in that plotline, is actually the moment when Troy and Abed finally come up to the librarian. Which, by the way, do we ever get her name?
Mariah.
Yeah. Right. So when they go up, they go up with the suitcase. She goes, "What's in the briefcase?" He goes, "Oh, tacos. Do you want some?" She's like, "No, I'm good." She goes, "Okay, good, because we were really wanting to have these."
Okay, good, because we really wanted them.
We really wanted to eat them, yeah. Like, brilliant.
This Troy and Abed plotline really boils down exactly what works and that we love about the Troy and Abed friendship is that any other fucking show would do some plotline where a woman comes between these 2 friends and they have a fight. This show refuses to do that. These 2 guys love each other more than some beautiful lady. And they will... Troy refuses
says, we'll
to
find
let
that
this...
works for us. And it just...
Us!
It just makes my heart
It's
so
beautiful.
So good.
And I almost wish they had eventually gotten to some plotline where they were dating the same woman. I'm not even saying, like, a throuple, but I am saying, like, the 2 of them are dating the same woman at the same time. I don't know. That could have been interesting. They never go there.
They could have done like a twins, like we're dating twins plotline, but like no, they never breached that territory because I think the important part isn't who they're dating. It's the fact that it's so important that whoever they're dating is friends with the other person.
And this show becomes so disinterested in who these characters are dating.
Yeah.
By this point, it barely cares. Like, how much more, like, who are they dating do we get over the course of this show? Like, one more? Like, Brie Larson? Is that it?
Well, homie, I think Brie Larson and Abed's relationship is one of the best relationships in the show.
Perfect.
And it's
so
2 episodes. 2 episodes.
Spaced out.
And I love the commentary
seasons.
on, like, you kind of ghosted me for, like, months. And it's like, oh, yeah, you guys did, like, offer to go on a date with each other. And then it never happened.
And then there's the Troy and Britta thing, which is a whole other monster. Actually, okay.
That's a whole thing, and we will unfortunately get to it.
Isn't that mostly season 4?
Yeah.
It's all season 4. It's all... 3 has, like... We're hinting at it, like they're kind of like warming up to it, but it never becomes something that like overwhelms an episode.
Sure.
So it doesn't end up working very well, but in season 3 it doesn't become harmful enough that it even like matters.
Shocking. This episode has a moment of Pierce that makes me laugh very hard. And I usually don't like Pierce.
The opening Pierce?
It's the opening. It's brilliant.
So good.
He goes, "You don't have anything to say?" He goes, "Nothing off the top of my head." But I do have a prepared statement. And he just
So good.
dang, opens it up very seriously, takes what is clearly 3 or 4 pages, front and back, and then he flips it, and then he just goes, and then cut to theme song, which
Cut to theme song.
Give me some more time in a tree. Give me the hope to run out of steam. Somebody say it could be here. It could be rolled up, tied up, dead in a year. I can't count the reasons I should stay. One by one, they all just fade away.
not to preach into the next episode too much, but it reminds me of Troy freaking out, which we'll get into. In this comedy defining moment, like there's this thing. There are full compilations on YouTube, and like it's like a whole genre of TikTok and Vine and like all these like videos where it's screams perfectly cut off. You know what I'm talking about?
So good.
Oh, 100%.
It's so good.
And this
And,
is
like, you look
such
at
an
this
example.
And like,
of it.
first of all, that breath is in that same vein. It's very much like
He's getting ready to-
it's the
It's so good.
it's a SpongeBob move
And when
where
it
he's like,
comes back, the
"Boy."
fucking credit.
yeah, exactly. And then
And when it comes back, and he's like, in other words, good luck and bon appetit.
Jeff Winger-
Teeth.
several paragraphs of that were oddly supportive. it's exciting. It's
Just wait until the one I have for you.
yeah, and it's like
It's a good Pierce
and
bit.
immediately I hated it again. At that point, I was like, "Fuck this fucking I hate it."
Fuck this fucking guy. There's an excellent bit in there. I also love that obviously from the season 2 premiere, we have learned that Gillian Jacobs can kiss funny if you need her to kiss funny. So we do that again with
Season 2
Paige the
premiere.
fake
Oh.
lesbian.
My goodness, y'all. Here's the thing.
I don't know if it tops that tongue locking, but it's very good.
It's good. It's not the same. It's a
very
very
good.
different moment.
Season 2
and it
opening is so fucking rough. It's,
It's
so
really
rough.
funny.
It's
really funny.
Here's the thing, though. When let's break this down, right? This whole like, I thought you were a lesbian. I thought you were a lesbian, and they both like. Let's be very honest here, right? From a queer lens,
Mhm.
I'm not about to put a label on someone, but these are characters, and I'm going to analyze the crap out of them, right?
Let's do it.
They're both at least bisexual. Like there is no way.
100%.
There is no way you exist
Hundo
in that space and you go, oh, I just want to be friends. Like, if you're trying to be friends with a lesbian and be cool, never once does it cross your mind, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to kiss the lesbian to show how cool I am with lesbians. That's not a thing, right?
No.
That's not a thing. And
You attempt to kiss the lesbian because you want to kiss the lesbian.
Let's be
That is what you
honest.
do with the lesbian.
Lesbians, all right? Let's, like, when it comes down to it, both of them want to kiss the other one because they think that they're flagging,
Did you
right?
just say let's be honest?
I did. Correct.
All right, I just wanted to point that out for anybody who
excellent.
might have missed it. It was very good, and
I love-
it almost flew past me.
Thank you. Yeah, no, I mean, like, it's very clear, and I mean, I love it. You know, I wish they had expanded on it more. I personally think that this could have been a great moment for an awakening. But the best part of this episode is not that kiss. The best lesbian moment of the episode is not that kiss. It's the almost kiss between Britta and Annie. It just
Yeah.
fucking gets me.
Hysterical
It was
bit.
so
It's so good.
Yes. And they literally, and Annie goes,
Yes.
Annie rolls her eyes and then looks at Britta and goes, oh, I mean, okay. And then Britta's like, Annie.
Annie commits. Like Britta was like,
Look at these
Annie
two
was like,
very
"Let's go."
straight women locked
Yeah,
in this
I mean,
exact scenario.
come on.
Look how straight these two are.
Yeah, right. It's a fascinating lens to view these characters in, to say the least. Who is the actor? Who is the actor that plays Pierce's pill hallucination?
And
Andy Dick.
Ooh, both of you said that very loaded way.
Oh,
I
it's a
just-
very loaded
I
personality, I think.
Yeah, I'm gonna just say, don't Google it, but know that you are against him.
Mm,
I would say would be my advice to
that's
you.
a confusing.
Know that you don't support Andy Dick. I can tell you that without you having read a word about him. You don't.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. Please take his word for it. It's not great.
I will.
It's not great. And I don't know how public any of that was in the year of our Lord 2010 or 2011 when this episode comes out. Like, I don't know. but like you don't like Andy Dick.
Why do I
That's
always?
what I will say.
Why do I always not conflate in the way that like I mix them up? But why do I have an inability to think of Andy Dick and not also think of Kathy Griffin?
They were both frequent guests on Whose Line Is It Anyway, I believe. I don't know if
Maybe
that means
it.
anything to you.
Maybe that's
I
don't know.
I can't nail that down for you.
I just didn't know if
Listeners,
I didn't know if there was
write
something, if
in.
I would say that and you'd go, "Oh, this." But
I wish I could, but I can't.
You said Whose Line Is It Anyway, and I immediately thought of something that happens in the next episode. But I don't want to go there just yet. I'm holding it like in the back of my head.
Not just yet. I found pictures here with Andy Dick and Kathy Griffin, like together.
is it because
so
they
I
look
don't.
similar to me in my brain?
Were they on the same show?
I don't remember.
I don't.
Fun fact,
know.
it's just in drag the whole time.
There is an IGN board post called "Andy Dick and Kathy Griffin are the same person." Kathy Griffin totally looks like Andy Dick in no makeup. So
Maybe I just think maybe I actually conflate their faces together.
maybe you're just like literally combining the two of their faces.
That's hilarious.
It's just funny.
That's very
I apologize, but I think that maybe helped you get to the bottom of this mystery. Is that they just like literally look similar.
I am closer to solving it than I was before I brought it up. So at the very least,
So,
progress is made.
Zoink scoop,
If
we're going to
been able
solve
to
this
tell
mystery.
based on that alone, it's quarantine and I have a kid. I take victories where I get them.
I agree. You take whatever small victories you can, my dude. And if it's realizing why you conflate Andy Dick and Kathy Griffin, then good for you.
I guess my brain did a little thing, and I remembered a moment in this episode that I always remember every time I watch it, and it's when Troy is defending Abed when Miranda?
The Saw movies. Well, there are 8
Literally,
of them,
you
and they
read my
did
mind.
redefine the genre.
And I literally, for me, because for the longest time, I didn't used to like horror movies, and now I do like horror movies. I'm like very much into it. But for me, Saw was always one of those-
Shudder.
Yeah, Shudder's great.
Shudder's a great site. I'm not here to make fun of Shudder.
No, absolutely. But like
They brought back Joe Bob Briggs on Shudder. That's where price of admission alone.
Who?
You know Elvira?
Oh, the drive-through thing.
Yeah, like a drive-through movie. Like his was being like a guy outside of a trailer park talking about the movie, and Elvira was the spooky vampire lady. But it's the same bit. Like I'm gonna interrupt the movie and talk for a little bit, and throw you to our sponsors, and then we'll come back.
The first episode is a little weird because he starts talking about like beauty pageants and transgender folks, and I was just like, this is not okay.
I don't know where this is gonna go.
I don't know if you're the person I want to hear talk about these things. Anyway, but the thing about that moment in this episode is literally every time, because Saw was always on the like I just can't do it list, right? It was like
For sure.
just that self-inflicted pain, like that kind of gore.
Saw's kind of the dawn of torture porn.
Yeah.
It is the dawn. Yeah, it was back in 2000. It kicked off it did, as Troy said, redefine the genre.
Right.
Like it was a complete fucking game
And
changer.
every time I get to this moment in the series, I go, "Fuck, should I watch Saw?" You know, like, and then I always, and then I think about it, and then I never answer my own question because I think I'm afraid of the answer. You know, I'm like,
From what I understand, the first one is both quite good and not as gory as the rip-off artists or the sequels would have you believe.
Sure.
The first one is genuinely like, oh fuck.
And it's like, what, Carrie Elwes and Danny
Carrie
Glover?
Elwes,
Like, it's got, like,
Glover, yeah,
real
that's pretty
actors in it.
And there's a new movie from Hollywood.
Spiral from the Book of Saw.
Yeah, that's got Chris Rock as like
and he
a
like
hard-boiled
wrote it.
detective. And he wrote it.
And he wrote it.
Oh, I saw that.
Isn't Sam Jackson in the
don't-
movie too?
Probably.
Yeah.
Sounds like something he would be in.
And I was like, yeah,
we love
okay.
Sam Jackson. He's a legend. I can't believe we haven't even talked about my favorite part of this episode yet, which is the bare naked ladies argument.
Oh my god,
which
that
is
was gonna be my
one
thing
of
this morning.
One of the top.
Intro.
And they have 2 Billboard Awards to your 0. Why don't you remove the knife from the back of the most celebrated Canadian alt-rock band of the mid-90s, you selfish, jaded ass? And it's this, like, I don't know if we're intentionally, like, homaging the Social Network here, but it feels very Social Network that it's like we're having 2 conversations at the same time. Like that opening sequence of
one.
Yeah, and no one is sure what you're arguing about at any given
sequence
point.
Of that movie fucking gets me every time. I love it.
Social Network?
Oh, yeah.
Great film. Near perfect film. But this argument back and forth about BNL, and I am a BNL fan. I love the Bare Naked Ladies. This is so funny. It's so
I genuinely, I
fucking
feel
good.
so bad because my introduction was genuinely going to be like, hi, what's up? My name's Jace. I use they, them pronouns, but for the rest of this podcast, you can refer to me as multi-platinum winning
BNL.
artist. Bare Naked Ladies. Yeah.
Oh, they're BNL now? We need an abbreviation for the Bare Naked Ladies. They're that important to our day-to-day.
Yes!
I agree. I love Bare Naked Ladies. We all know the song 1 Week, which is, I think, a very good
Did
song.
they also do the theme song for
the Big Bang Theory? Which, hey, to be fair,
That's
I
part
don't
of the
like Big
show.
Bang Theory. Theme song slaps.
Slaps.
Exactly.
I think,
Theme
they
song
have,
fucking
I think
slaps.
they have a God Rest You Merry Gentlemen song they did.
Oh, they have a whole Christmas album?
With fucking Sarah McLachlan?
Good band.
That's really
Yeah.
good.
I think some of their music is, like, legitimately beautiful. Songs about, like, we can never return to places we once lived, pain becoming a crutch for alcoholism, and all of it sounds very silly and very funny and like a Canadian alt-rock band. But I think a lot of it is, like, legitimately beautiful, and some of it is very funny without being, like, you know...
Not being Weird Al Yankovic.
Right, and I love Weird Al, but that's, like,
BNL is
not a
completely
diss.
different.
Are you?
Are you? Yeah, we love the Bare Naked Ladies. This is a Bare Naked Ladies fucking stan podcast. It's an incredible moment. Can't be topped.
Great moment.
The episode peaks at the beginning with that argument, with the Pierce monologue and then the BNL argument, where we're fucking and then Shirley disappears and then reappears at the end of the episode to the point where you're like, what? Shirley was at this dance? Shirley was here too?
Yeah,
because I haven't seen her.
It's interesting because I do kind of feel at a certain point it's really frustrating because there's like a trade-off, right? Like season 2 is like just some of the best episodes in the entire run of the show, but it's also an area where we start to realize that Shirley is severely underutilized. Like they don't really, but it's great because in the next episode they almost kind of comment on it.
They use it to their advantage.
They
like,
do.
Intentionally or no, we are perfectly set up for the next episode, and we might as well segue into
Sure,
that.
why not?
This is Season 2, Episode 16, Intermediate Documentary Filmmaking, directed by Joe Russo, written by Megan Gans, with Pierce in the hospital issuing his final bequeathments to the study group. They are all put through the psychological ringer, with the exception of Abed. And I don't think I need to tell either of you that this is a fucking incredible 10 out of 10 episode.
This is
but it's
one of the best.
It is, and like, listen, you can watch this episode just as an incredibly funny or touching piece of television, which of course it is, but it's also like a brilliant use of the form. Like, it's not just that we're doing a takeoff on mockumentary style, which was huge at the time. Parks and Rec, The Office. The director of this episode, Joe Russo, is like really responsible for bringing it into like Western television with Arrested Development. They don't have like direct to camera, but that show is like a mockumentary style.
Right.
Yeah.
And one, we take Abed out of the equation, because Abed would be so difficult to incorporate into this episode as a part of Pierce's bequeathments. Challenging him doesn't work in the same way that it does with any of these other characters.
That's true. That's
Right.
It also, they brilliantly use the format to do storytelling decisions they wouldn't be able to otherwise.
Yeah.
So, like, you are this Troy plotline, right, where he cannot communicate with LeVar Burton. He's comatose. The documentary format gives you the perfect envelope to cut away to Troy in the bathroom, and we don't need to know how he got there or how he got out of his comatose state to go cry in the bathroom.
Right, yeah.
Because he's already there.
Or him
He's
screaming in
and
the...
ranting and raving in the lunchroom.
That's that moment
we don't need to know how he got there.
That cut-off scream. This is another way the format allows that moment to happen.
So good.
It's the whole, like, what is he saying right before then? It's the whole...
I only wanted...
You can't disappoint a picture! And the cultural moments of this episode are the Troy plotline, like those gifs, those quotes. They are everywhere, and deservedly so. They are fucking hysterically funny, but every part of this episode is good. All of the character plot lines and challenges. I shockingly am a huge fan of the Britta plot line, but it also continues to pay off of the Valentine's dance, where she's questioning, like, do I actually believe anything that's coming out of my mouth?
Right.
Like, am I doing this all? Am I a fucking fraud? Am I a sham? And it's very important that we come to the conclusion that she does believe everything she's saying, but she is also simultaneously full of shit, that it's really, like, more about her than it is about any of the causes and how much she actually believes in them. And that, it's brilliant. It's like, it completely opens up this character in a way we hadn't gotten to at this point.
This is one of those magical season 2 pastiche episodes that just fucking... This was like... Because, like, season 1 it did it a little bit, but, like, season 2 is when they really started to play with the idea of having isolated episodes in different, like, styles, you know, like, aesthetics, the pastiche of it all. And this is one of those peak moments. Like, they... Like, it feels like somebody at one point said... could we possibly have Abed do a mockumentary? It feels like somebody was like, I mean, look at all these great shows that are on right now, like, you know, The Office, Parks and Rec, they do this. And somebody went, you know, I think we could do it better. I think we could in one episode.
It's cheap to shoot that way. Yeah. We do it all in a hospital. Our only non-main cast member is the nurse, the orderly, and she doesn't. We don't need to pay her a big bucks to, like, do this.
They used all their budget on the car crash in the second half of the episode.
I think they did, though. I think they were like burned through all of it.
The other thing that's really great about this episode is it reminds me of that thing, Kevin, that you say that you love about this show is when they pull off those really kind of sad endings. It's like there's like watching Jeff beat the crap out of Pierce is this.
It's upsetting.
It's upsetting. You, as the audience, you're like, I mean, yeah, fucking Pierce deserved that shit. Fuck that guy. But also at the same time, you're like,
look at these friends
punching
each other.
Man. Yeah, and they're friends, you know, supposedly friends. Literally, the end of the episode of the previous episode is Jeff being like, hey, Pierce, let these people into your heart because they're knocking, you know, and like, we love you. And the episode right after that just shows Pierce's complete ignorance to it all and just the manipulative nature of it all. It's just he doesn't actually want to be included. He wants to be in charge. And that is his whole character dynamic. And I think this episode really nails that down the best, because we're starting to see how the villainous tendencies of that kind of behavior. He's not trying to be included in these events. He wants to be in charge of these events. You know, when he wanted to be included in Dungeons and Dragons, it wasn't that he wanted to be included. When he inserted himself in, he was like, I'm going to derail this because I'm in charge now. And it was
I still love his, like, do you like being excluded from things? And he's like, yes!
Yes! Which is exceptional. Like a perfect version of that dynamic. I mean, God, this episode is good. God, this episode
just feels so bad for Jeff. Like, you're watching... there's this moment... It's a great moment. I don't think it's the best acted moment in the whole episode, but it's this really strong moment that I always think back to, and it's Jeff sitting in his chair doing the whole, like, and don't you dare splice this with clips of me freaking out.
Footage of me freaking
out. Footage of me freaking out.
Throws his phone.
Yeah, throws his phone, rips the thing, but where he just kind of leans back in his chair and he goes, ah!
It's really good. It's great. This is also... another moment where, like, Jeff is the only one who gets Abed's pop cultural references. He understands the documentary format as well as Abed does, to the point where he can be like, don't you intercut this with footage of me freaking out, because I know that's exactly what you're gonna fucking do. Is there footage of you freaking out? It's just this. And also, again, look at how good look at how far Joel McHale has come as like a performer since like the pilot of Community. Like this monologue he gives directly to Pierce in one unbroken take. Like, if you're lying to me, if my father isn't coming, if a car pulls up and it's anyone other than my father, say an actor or you in a wig, if you try to pull any Ferris Bueller, Parent Trap, Three's Company, FX, FX2, The Deadly Art of Illusion bullshit, I will beat you.
I will beat
also
you.
love that they
Nothing madcap or wacky about it. Right, which is good. Like, and that's another advantage of the documentary is he can say bullshit and they can just bleep it out.
And the other thing that's great is like, also, there's a beautiful foreshadow in that. He goes, there will be nothing madcap or wacky about it. And when he does beat him up, it's a decided break from the wackiness of this episode, where it's genuinely like, this is frightening.
And we get to have, like, shaky handheld cam, so it just has all this extra
tension,
like, Bourne supremacy, like, tension added to it, because we're in the documentary format. They just... the thing that sets Community apart from these other shows that will attempt also like pastiche episodes is that they know the format they're aping. It's how to use it well, where it fails, and they can perfectly jump around it. And in the end, they come to the conclusion, like, you know, I also wish I could explain everything directly to camera. Like, it works. It's an effective form to tell a television.
They kind of also, I love that there's very clearly like a moment for me watching this that you can tell that the writers are speaking through Abed. He's like fish in a barrel, like basically being like, look, using this format makes things easy. You know, like you can really easily just get a laugh out of it. And yes, when it first came out, it was a novel idea, and that was the artistry behind it. But then there's also something very formulaic, and you can just do it super easily. But then the fact that they use the format to their advantage in ways that's typically not used, like the jump cut kind of thing, is not something that they typically use in mockumentary style.
On like Parks and Rec, they won't, because
it's
Parks
more
and
about
Rec,
keeping a real time
despite
of the day, and this is like Abed. They very clearly are playing with the concept of editing. It's the editing of the show is Abed's character, and in these other shows, the editing isn't a character. The editing is just the format, and that's what makes it so cool and allows you to have this brilliant Shirley moment where Abed comes in. What are you doing? And he goes, "Oh, I was just filming myself talking head." You know, or did you not?
I think it stems back from
Yeah, I think it stems from Mike Cut, like just like these moments, but also just like the way that they use that to develop like Shirley's character. It's a really exciting moment. Also, this is
I love it so much that it cuts away after that. Anyway, like Abed included hers talking about not being a part of it, and then still took her out of it.
It's good. I think it's
that's true.
We have this extra meta layer on top of it, where like if you're Parks and Rec, if you're The Office, despite the fact that you have like characters talking to camera, that it's shot in a documentary style, you are almost never acknowledging the camera people that are surrounding you at all
until
times.
You're like
if you're in until like the last episode of The Office, which I haven't seen, but like they never acknowledge it, with very, very rare exceptions.
Can I derail us for a second and ask why the fuck you don't believe in happiness?
Why I don't believe in happiness?
Yeah, why have you not watched the end of The Office?
When I was a child.
I asked for that. No, I asked for that. I appreciate it.
You did. You set me up for it perfectly, and I do appreciate that.
Shut up. Punchline. Ding, ding, ding.
The reason I haven't seen the final season of The Office is because like I religiously watched the first 5 seasons, and the 5th I felt was slipping a little bit. This is high school Kevin talking, and then I got to Jim and Pam's wedding, and I said, I think I can get out here. And I'm like, I still I don't have to watch this show atrophy. I don't have to, and I hear there's great stuff after it. I saw a little bit of after Andy took over The Office, and it was rough.
I mean, look, I often refer to The Office as like the only reason you come back is Jim and Pam.
Seasons I haven't seen. Yeah,
and I think that makes sense. You know, to be like, the whole idea, like for me, I used to say the only reason you keep coming back to The Office is for Jim and Pam. Like without Jim and Pam, even though like let's be honest, Jim's kind of an asshole, but for some reason we love him because he's so freaking funny. But like,
is he an asshole?
Yeah, he picks on one of his coworkers the entire series because he does his job.
But his coworker's his best friend.
Is he?
Yes.
Wow.
You guys have not finished the show, apparently.
I have finished the show.
Dude, Dwight is his best friend.
Not at the beginning,
I don't.
Not at the beginning. They're not friends. This is a total tangent that I did not want to get into.
Completely different. We can stop.
I do want to.
Yeah, it's fine. I don't.
That I know Kevin will like though, because there's a moment in this episode. Yes, you, Kevin.
Yes.
Britta. That's a brilliant actor. By the way, if you're listening to this and you have not read Kevin's essay on Britta, what are you doing with your life? It's so good. But there's this moment in this episode where you look at Britta and she has this moment of self-discovery, and self-discovery is such a fascinating part of her character, you know, because it's so much of her character is reliant on her never having full self-discovery moments. She believes she understands who she is, and that's what causes this dissonance with her. But there's this moment, and then she goes, "Britta for the win," and it's this. It's when we start to see this goofiness about her, where she's comfortable. And there was some discourse about the essay. Somebody was saying that they related. I wish I could remember who it was on Twitter. That they related so strongly with Britta because it's the idea of as you get more comfortable with these people, you let new sides of you show. And there's that moment where I watched that, and she's like, I'm just bad with my money. Britta for the win. And I'm just like, I know her. In that moment, I know her.
I understand this character. That episode is so crucial to, like, if there's one episode that my essay can trace, like, all of this back to, it's this one. Yeah. Where, like, I feel like this character, not only for herself, but also for us, the audience, has now been unlocked in a way that she hasn't previously. As much as I've enjoyed almost everything she's done up until this point,
sure.
We are now fully in a new dimension of this character. And I believe you're quoting a friend of the show, host of another community podcast, their name is Jillian, who said, like, yeah, I also, like, I come off as one way, you know, that there's a line coming up next season for Britta where Jeff says, like, you seem smarter when I met you. And it's like, whether you're doing it intentionally or it's just because of how you come off, the person that we meet in the pilot is still the same character. Absolutely. But she has allowed herself to unshell. Yeah. She's become comfortable, maybe comfortable with herself in a way she hasn't up until this point.
This is a vulnerable moment. I think this is one of the first times we've had a couple, you know, okay, we could talk about like the Abed Christmas episode, but there's times like, look, these as a group, the study group like has moments where they like have troubling times together. This is arguably one of the first major vulnerable moments for the entire group. Like, they are all faced with something that it isn't just one of them facing a hardship and they're gathering around. It's like there's a hardship that directly affects all of them. They're like someone very close to all of them. Right. Yeah. But you know, that is, I mean, that's like part of the core community.
I think Abed is also affected. This is how he is processing how affected.
That's super real because he processes the film. And I think he's also in on it, to be fair. I think he also
he's 100% in on it. Because that's the beginning when he's like
I find about Pierce the documentary intensely boring as a subject.
Yeah, and he talks about the documentary format and how he says it's kind of like fish in a barrel. And then he cuts to Pierce a few seconds later explaining he's not really dying. He's just using this to get back at everybody. And then it cuts back to Abed. He goes, see, fish in a barrel. Like, Abed's in on it the whole fucking time. He's just like, I get to practice filmmaking. So, like, I'll do it.
And that doesn't take away from the emotional, you know, moment of like one of your really close friends who's very old just had like a very major episode with narcotics, essentially. Like, this is a scary moment for all of them, right? And there's just a certain amount of like vulnerability that we see with these characters right now. I don't know. I forget why I started this, but this episode really just kind of it does a lot. It does a lot for these characters and the relationships with each other. And it also comes right at a really pivotal moment with like how Pierce's character is developing. This was a really nice like at the end of a slide, there's like that little bit of a curve that straightens you out. We're coming out of a tunnel, you know, like there's a moment of change over these past few episodes, and this is that moment of just like splashing down into a new pool, and it's like
it's our dismount.
That's 100%.
It's your flare in an airplane on the way down to the runway, where you belly up so you come down soft. Yeah, it's that like, here we are. We've made it.
Okay. Right, yeah. Absolutely.
And what a good show.
So well.
What a good television.
If I've learned anything, if I've learned anything about this group, it's that if one of us is going to start a thought and be unable to finish it, undoubtedly someone else in the group will know exactly what they were trying to say.
Someone is on the same wave,
Yeah.
and we will pick it up.
We've done how many episodes now? We understand each other.
I have no idea. What episode are we on?
Of our show that we are recording together? 24.
I was going to say 23. All right.
24, recorded entirely in quarantine. Wow. America, get your shit together. Almost half a year.
Yeah. Someone today was like...
episodes.
Someone today was like, you've got that tonight? Your schedule's so inconsistent. I was like, homie, I've done this for over 20 weeks. Every Tuesday. Get the fuck out of here, inconsistent.
What are you doing every single Tuesday without fail? We've been in these chairs. And like, before we leave this episode, like, I love Jeff and Britta's like being each other's dads, like hypothetical conversation. Which is
that was the thing
excellent.
I was thinking of earlier. The "Whose line is it anyway" reference. Yeah, just this moment of the writers being like improv, and they're like, but it's pre-written, and it's the fact that not once do either of these characters, who decidedly have no reason to understand the integral rules of improvisation, neither one of them take any chance to where they decidedly could have very easily said, no, stop that. They all yes and in a bizarre, completely propelling moment. Like, they fully embrace.
Britta comes close, and then Jeff, like, doubles down. She's like, what? Why? And he's like, oh, I don't know. I was drunk, and her mom gets frisky when she hears Oingo Boingo. And now we're in. Now it's personal. Now we're in. And we're gonna keep doubling down. Oh, it's so fucking good. And then
whatever. I'm Jeff Winger's stupid dad who's
dumb gay dad.
Dumb gay dad.
Fuck! Like,
it's so good.
It's exceptional, and I would be amiss if I did not bring up the complisult and explain them, Bragg.
Explain
It's also which is great to hear. It's I wouldn't say great. That's not the right word. It's fascinating to watch Britta immediately use gay in a slightly derogatory sense immediately after flaunting how non-homophobic she is for an entire fucking episode.
Yeah,
also, can I point out how quickly the previous episode, which I meant to say this during our conversation about it, but how much the previous episode dates itself, because the core conceit of two women being at a dance together would not draw attention anymore. The world has changed. It's much more normal, and like that whole episode's built on a thing that like just wouldn't be news anymore. It'd be like,
There's also something that happens. Well, it depends what town you're in, but in Colorado, I don't know. It's complicated, but like.
Could go either
There's
way.
something at the beginning, too, that's very clearly like a pop culture reference that's like oddly specific. Most of the pop culture references in the show rely on them being like at least 10 years old so that everybody knows what they are and they're established. But I can't remember what it was. It's the beginning of the first one. I don't know. They're sitting at the table and there's something very, very specifically dated. I can't remember what it is.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Yeah, well,
I can't remember this one anyway.
So cut this part out.
But anyway, yeah, like two lesbians dancing to, I think, a Chromeo song feels very dated at this point.
It's like, this wouldn't be a thing.
This is not headline news, even in, like, I mean, Colorado's a fairly blue state, but no state is entirely blue.
Colorado's also
nor does
red pockets, very red pockets.
Nor does blue mean that you are as accepting as the blue color would mean that you are.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Did that sentence make any fucking sense? I mean, just because somewhere votes Democrat doesn't mean that they're like...
Yes, no?
I just made it clear, Kev, that the three of us might be on a different wavelength. So, like, it made sense to us, but at the same time, that is not a good metric anymore.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense to the audience.
Yeah.
That's fine.
None of them know what you're talking about.
Right,
well,
exactly.
Like, yeah, it makes sense. And someone just turned off this podcast and was like, I can't anymore.
I think they've lost their minds.
The first 5 minutes talking about DC superhero movies. They never talk about the show the podcast actually about, and they speak in complete nonsense.
Right. It's clearly just three guys that can't wait to talk about how much they want to fuck
Henry Cavill. This show should be called the Henry Cavill Fuckers.
Yeah.
We are not the Greendale Three. We are the Cavill Heads. Yeah.
We're the Cavill threesome.
Oh
Yes, and we segue now into our ranking section, which we do every week, where we rank episodes in end tags. End tags first. Okay. The first one is taste testing Valentine's hearts.
Oh, this one's so good!
It's cute.
I love this one. This one hits a soft spot for me because this is like such an exploratory episode or tag for me because it's one of those moments. It reminds me of the early ones, but also in a new way where it's like they're just doing ridiculous things.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I love any of these tags where Abed is like gentle and mysterious and Troy is just like so fascinated with this man. Like he just loves this guy so much that he's like, do something else cool. Like
there's got to be a way we can make money off of this.
It's so cute.
Because I've been cheating. And of course, and then Troy goes to read the heart to be like, that's not what it says. What? That's a shitty Valentine heart to give someone. I've been cheating.
I've been cheating. Excellent. Where are we looking? Okay, another holiday one. Oh, Christmas, Troy.
A little lower, in my opinion.
Little lower. Well, then we're in the morning pocket. In the morning with Rich. In the morning with Star Burns.
It's below flagpole voicemail.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. I think vending machine spaceship. Like we're in the right zone here. I would probably put it above vending machine, but that's just like personal taste. I just think this one's really cute.
This one is really cute. Spaceships, lots of shows. I'm gonna just to be contrarian, I'm gonna say it's just below vending machine and leave it up to Caleb.
It's just below vending machine.
Yeah. So Kevin says above vending machine. I say below vending machine. Your move.
On either side.
Below vending machine.
Below?
Okay, great.
Yeah. Because Troy accidentally making a vending machine poke him in the butt is really funny to me.
It's great. We love to see it. We love to see that exploratory.
We love to see it.
His digital exploration.
Stimulate that prostate, Troy. Stimulate it.
Yo, will there be butt stuff? No? That's fine. I'll do it.
I'll do it. Okay, but this next one.
Do they do
dinner
stuff to your butt?
with
Do they
LeVar?
pay you more if you let them do stuff to your butts?
That's fine. I'll do it.
Sorry. Dinner with LeVar is the next one?
Dinner with LeVar.
That's fine. More for Kunta.
More fish for Kunta.
More fish for Kunta. Okay. I'm sorry. One last thing about this documentary episode.
Do it.
The introduction of LeVar Burton, I think, for me, is key to understanding why this show works so well. Now, hear me out here. LeVar Burton was a main cast member on Star Trek The Next Generation. And what Community does well is also what Star Trek The Next Generation does well, is that they will give you an episode, they will give you a problem, and usually a character-focused problem. You understand all the rules of what must be accomplished here. Like, they perfectly set up, like, okay, these are the rules of a conspiracy theory. These are the rules of a zombie episode, or even the normal episodes, quote unquote, where like you are so clear in all of the plots of like 21st century romanticism, a quote unquote normal episode. I understand the rules, I understand the stakes, I understand how it affects all of these characters, and that is also what the good episodes of TNG would do. And that just really stuck out to me in the doc episode, especially because we were just talking about how well defined every aspect of it is.
Sure. Yeah, 100%.
Anyway, sorry, that was the last one. But anyway, Dinner with LeVar, I really like this one. This one might be kind of mid-level to high for me. I don't know how we feel.
Sort of disagree, personally. I think it's a good one.
Case, make your case, please.
The sad part is I don't even think I have a case. I think it's a great.
It just doesn't tickle you the same.
It doesn't tickle me the same way as others. I'm looking at this. I think my marker for if I go up, the first one I always look at. I haven't told you this. The first one I look at is slut. And if in reading,
no, that's
slut,
our measuring
like, I can
stick.
immediately hear what that moment is, and that's my ranking up. Is it top? Is it bottom? And to me, it's below slut.
anything in this tag better than Donald Glover screaming the word slut. And if it isn't, then it isn't, and that's okay.
That's my marker. I don't know if what y'all do, but that is the first thing I do. Just decide, is it top 15 or is it below that? And for me, it's just a little bit below that. It's a great. It is a good one. There's something really. This one has one of the better payoffs later on. I think it's like a
for sure.
Sure.
But like as a standalone tag, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's good. It's good. It's good. It's good. I'm gonna give it. If I have to give it a number, between matching outfits and Gone Before Breakfast.
Okay, so you're down like 25.
Yeah.
25 of almost 40 now.
That's still pretty decent.
Mine's better than Valentine Hearts. So
better than Valentine Hearts. Okay, so we're floating around here. I would put this just like right above Valentine Hearts.
Yeah,
I think just like
that's what I was gonna say.
Okay.
Do 21.
Yeah, do it.
Okay,
that's
then
valid.
We'll do number 20 with 1. Dinner with LeVar. Is the V capitalized in LeVar Burton? I think it might be.
Yeah.
Too late now. It is now. All right, and now.
Oh shit!
The episodes themselves.
This is so difficult.
Fuck. Okay, 21st century romanticism. I'm looking like here around 12 with accounting for lawyers.
Yeah.
Like this is a really good episode.
It is a good
Very
one.
good. Very good.
I don't think it's top 10, but I think you're actually pretty spot on in that area.
It's not as good as basic
right
rocket
here.
science. Straight up.
Yeah, not as good as basic rocket science.
No.
But like
Spaceship.
debate 109, we can have a conversation.
Oh, yo, can I derail us again? I don't know why I ask, because we do it anyway.
No, go for it.
Do
Go
what I
for it.
dare you.
We've talked about how the MCU is just littered with Marvel characters.
Mm-hmm.
The fucking debate lead is in 2 movies.
What?
Yeah.
He's the guy in
I
Winter
think what
Soldier
you-
who
I think what
refuses to target or like activate the ships.
Uh-huh.
And then he's on the new helicarrier in Ultron that shows up when Sokovia is like flying over the ground.
Wait, the
He's
guy
in-
with the wheel, the guy in the wheelchair. I get-
Jeremy Soul Patch Simmons
Oh,
is
God.
he's in 2 of these.
I'm gonna have to do an entire MCU rewatch just to find this.
My wife and I are
Well,
doing
you know
just
what?
that, Jason. Let me tell you, when I saw this motherfucker's face, I was like, why do I know him? Why
Who's
do I
this
know
face?
him?
Who's
And I was
yet
like, I've
another
seen him
character.
somewhere recently. I don't know what from. And then I like IMDb'd him, and he's not known for Community. So I was like, how the fuck do I know? So scrolling through his history, I finally found it and was like, holy shit. And then
Well, you know what
It's like we
MCU
watched the
stands
next one.
for Marvel Community Universe.
I mean, there's so many. I'm sure we've talked about this already. But just
Oh,
all the
can I-
community
can I
actors.
almost
this podcast
everyone.
too?
Almost.
Can I share a fun fact with this podcast that I learned when talking to Yvette Nicole
Yeah,
Brown?
go for it. Yeah, of course.
She
Who is in Avengers Endgame?
recorded.
Rock on.
The Rooster
That was
called
my
her up and asked her to record a bit to be in an Avengers movie, and she was like, duh, of course." And
I like getting paid. Yes,
Yeah,
correct.
yeah. So they did it, and then she forgot about it, and it wasn't in Infinity War, and she recorded it before Infinity War, so she thought the Russos just lost in translation, forgot to tell her
Snip,
they weren't
snip,
able
snip.
to use it. And
Wait, the
so
elevator scene?
almost 2 years later, she's watching
Oh my
Endgame with her
God.
friends and realizes they're time traveling back to the 70s, and she was like, wait, I put on a hairdo for this scene. And like, wait, and then saw herself in the elevator, and she said it was one of the best experiences she's ever had in a movie theater, because she was in a movie
wow.
she didn't realize she was going to.
Oh. Oh,
I love it. That. Oh wow, that just speaks to
That's
so many levels of
beautiful.
secrecy within the MCU. That is.
Yeah.
Wow.
She was like, the
That's
Russos
beautiful.
did not tell me, and didn't remind me that it was going to be there, knowing that I would watch it and it would be a great experience. And I was like, that's magical.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Who hasn't crossed over? Joel, Allison, and Gilly are
Yeah.
I think
That's
are the ones who haven't.
Those are the 3 big.
Allison was almost
She-Hulk.
well, no, she was almost Agent 13 in Winter Soldier. The part that went to Emily Van Camp.
Yes.
His neighbor in Winter
Oh.
Soldier.
Yeah.
I think
the
there's also
blonde lady?
rumors that she might be She-Hulk.
I think that's just fan speculation
They're
at
like,
this point.
she's
Like
a
it's just
glow.
like
She could be.
I mean, don't get me wrong, she'd kill it.
I'd love to see.
But I don't think there's any basis to it. I think the casting report said an Allison Brie type,
It
which
did.
is hilarious
Which,
that
like,
they
just cast
haven't
Allison
gone
Brie,
out to Allison.
you
Just
fucking
cast Allison Brie.
cowards.
Like,
what the fuck
also,
are you
come
doing?
on, like, you literally have the power to basically say, hey, look, I mean, if we want you, we want you. And the fact, why would they? I don't know.
I don't know. It's very strange. But she was
honestly.
almost Sharon Carter. And Sharon Carter is, I think, like, the one good guy character who doesn't come back for Endgame. She is not in that final fight sequence. And I think maybe if it was Bree, that would be a much more popular character. I think Bree could have done something with it that the Emily just didn't. I'm sorry, Emily.
Also, Sharon
you're
Carter
a nice actor.
makes more sense because she looks more like the actress who plays Peggy.
She looks like fucking Peggy Carter. Here is how hard Sharon Carter flops.
Oof.
They have him end up with Peggy in the end. That is how hard that character flops. Is that they send him back in time to be with the person he's supposed to be with.
Ouch.
I'm sorry.
No, I mean, it's real.
Just having it.
What you said was real, but it doesn't mean it wasn't.
The thing you said,
am I
hurt, but it
wrong?
felt like it was true.
Am I wrong? Okay, so here's the question I must ask you. Is anything in 21st century romanticism better than Donald Glover's politically conservative fight raps in Football, Feminism, and You?
No.
No.
It's not. No, I'm afraid not. But I think it is better than Asian
Bang
population
Bong
studies.
Sing Along is going to be something I do for the rest of my life. So
yeah,
absolutely.
it's exceptionally good. But I think new number 15, right above Asian population, works
I
for
can
me.
dig it, for sure.
S1E 15? Early 21st century romanticism. Get your episode titles.
Season 2.
Oh, you're right, season 2. I'm a dummy.
You're not a dummy.
Okay.
At
I did
season
an at sign. Season at. That's the Yahoo season because it's online. All right, and now
This is top
intermediate documentary filmmaking. This is top 5. For me, it's number 3. Beneath Dungeons and Dragons, above Modern Warfare. I think intermediate documentary is one of my favorite pieces of TV. It's a top 5 episode of the series for me, I think.
I can't argue that.
I also say 3. Yeah, that checks out.
Oh,
And perhaps
I love
this one.
It's the liberation of any.
I love it
episode.
when I come in, I'm like, I rank this episode really high. Are these two going to be on board for that? And then you both are. It's incredible.
You're like, oh, cool. This worked out.
Wow, I didn't have to like fight my. Y'all are gonna have to deal with me when I say like, you know, the end tags after Troy leaves that are just these bizarre flights of fancy are like the best. Like you're gonna have to deal with me when I say like the Yakuza origin story is like my favorite.
I have told you the second you bring up how dope the Brazilian Gremlins post credits tag is, I'm gonna be right there with you.
And we're coming up on my number 1 favorite end tag of all time. Which is Fiddler Please. It's so fucking good. But we've done our rankings, and now we segue into the section of the show that we call plugs. We've already mentioned a couple of mine, so I'll just go first. Yes, I published a 6,400 word essay about TV's Britta Perry. You can read it right now. On tvskevin.substack.com. This is the first episode we've recorded since I released it, and the returns and the feedback have been excellent. And I really, really appreciate all that everybody had to say, or even like the constructive criticism that I got was like notable, or even just like helping me reframe things that I had difficulty articulating. So that's really my plug, is like read that up. It's my most popular published work at this point, not surprising anyone, I think.
No.
And I really appreciate everyone, all you community nuts out there that have checked it out. Truly, thank you. And that's it for me this week.
Woo! Yeah, I don't really have much of a plug this week. I'm just gonna say, follow me on Twitter or Instagram at JACENZIEV. Jason Ziv. Yeah, I think for me, I do want to take a moment to kind of. It's not a plug. It's just we talk way too much about comic books and superheroes to not just take a moment to acknowledge, Chadwick Boseman and the news that has shaken the world. That one hurt. That one hurt. And, just really kind of just such I don't have words to describe kind of how important this human was. But like, He will be missed. And I just kind of wanted to give him a little bit of a nod myself because, like, damn, like, whoa.
Well, that was actually my.
Well, you speak to your relation to it though.
No, yeah, it's fine. There's a lot of times, I guess you could say, that people comment on or like criticize or just talk about people and things they do without the full understanding of what that person may or may not be going through. And like this week, we found out that a guy who we all had grown to love in his roles did them all while struggling with basically terminal cancer. And I think it should be, aside from just like a pretty fucking sobering moment, a moment that reminds people that like you never fucking know what other people are going through. And it's not just like I had to replace a tire today and I fucking hate that. Sometimes it's like I visited a cancer ward today as Black Panther, knowing full well I have a cancer I likely won't beat.
Yeah.
And like he did all of that without telling anybody. Like no one. And that's just wild. So yeah, just like before you say something shitty or want to be like, oh, I'm a shit take, before you do that, just think about the fact that there are people, and in many cases, the people you may be wanting to have a funny shit take on, like they might be going through some shit because you never know. And, you know, as someone who's had chronic depression for almost a decade, you literally never know when someone's going through it. Mm-hmm. So be kind.
That's right.
That's my shout out. Be kind.
Be kind.
That's right.
What a great pop, you know?
Pop. And that is what we say.
Oh, I thought you were saying what a good dad, but you called me Pop.
That too.
Also,
and I was
also
like,
yes.
Pop's more of a grandpa interment.
When my kids have kids, if they choose to, I'm going by Pop. And I hope you understand.
My
that.
God.
Yeah. And we will start calling you Pop in that instance as well. I hope that's
I'll just forgo it entirely and refer to you strictly as Magnitude.
I mean, well, when that day happens, know that will not happen without my eyes suddenly becoming moist.
For sure.
Which is perhaps the worst way I could
the weirdest way you could have said that, Caleb.
Without my eyes
becoming moist.
My eyes become moist.
What is that, Henry Cavill?
Eyes become moist.
That's not just
God.
eyes.
Whoa,
I just cry when I see
it was
him.
implied, Caleb. Damn it.
We didn't need you to do the legwork for us.
Henry Cavill has become our new Jake Gyllenhaal. We have a very different relation to him, but he just comes up every week now.
For what it's worth, Jake Gyllenhaal's kind of a thirst trap to me too. But
I mean, 100%.
You do realize you
gorgeous.
just managed to use Henry Cavill to bring in Jake Gyllenhaal. Like you just kind of
exactly. This is the second time I brought him up in this episode, actually, and I'm impressed with the both of you that we restrained ourselves.
Jake Gyllenhaal?
I will act as the beam.
I brought up
landmasses that are Henry Cavill and Jake Gyllenhaal. No one heard what I just said. I'm going to leave it at that.
I'll hear it when I edit, darling.
Please, when you do, repeat it into the group so I don't have to repeat it. It was
perfect.
I'm so looking forward to it.
I think Mission Impossible Fallout is still on Hulu if y'all want to see some tasty fucking Henry Cavill. If you've seen The Witcher and you want to see some more tasty fucking Henry Cavill.
Yeah. With a big old
and just imagine how good of a Superman he could have been in a decent set of films.
If they didn't have to
I'm glad he's
CG his
overcome.
mustache away.
Yeah. Or like if he had been allowed to play a character, which instead he was playing nothing, and I don't think that's his fault. It was just literally nothing. It was a character defined by what he isn't, not by what he is. But we will be back next week with a political episode and an episode that I don't remember at all. So until that next time, we say pop pop.
Pap,
Pop pop. Dooba doo boo. Dooba doo boo. Dooba doo boo. Zoom dum dum. Dum ba dum dum ba dum. Zoom bow 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 bow.
See, I wanted to finish it for you.
This sounded so strange with my new audio situation that you helped me with, Caleb. I was like hearing myself singing for the first time. And I was
Hearing
like,
yourself? Suddenly I hate it.
No.
Yeah, I had to use my Yeti with like that specifically for like 3 or 4 months before I was like, oh, yeah, no, I'm just kind of used to my voice now. But initially it was like, oh, hey, dude, shut the fuck up. I hate your voice.
I mean, I've heard recordings of my voice for so long, just from like singing and like just what I do outside of this. But like, it's still, when you don't hear like a true playback of your voice for like a long period of time, and you hear it, it's always that like it's slightly less like resonant, slightly higher than you expect it to be. And you're like, oh, what?
Huh.
Always like,
Ew. That's what I sound like? Me?
Oh, thanks.
Oh, Jim Gaffigan has a wonderful joke where he's talking about looking at pictures of himself and being like, who's that fat guy? Oh no, it's me. That's my listening to my own voice. Who's that? Oh.
This has been a Talkback Podcast.
That was quite a show.